Today we're going to go over setup and installation of the FastCap Best Fence benchtop model. Now let me start off by saying this is not a sponsored video. I actually did contact FastCap to see if I could get one of these, and they pretty much told me to pound sand. But I desperately needed a new miter station, and the Capex unit is grossly priced and it didn't fit my bill. I do not need the mobility, but I do need the fences to come off because I have limited space in my garage. And I didn't feel like trying to construct anything, and this benchtop model fits every requirement that I was actually looking for, then some. First, you're going to need some sort of bench. I have a simple 2x4 constructed, which is 2 foot deep, 6 foot long bench, and you need a miter saw. Here is the Capex being loaded up. Here's what you get: two 64-inch fences. You get the benchtop mounts, 4 of those. Now 2 of mine are for Capex. You get the stop block, a bit, and a wrench, and then the screws. Here we are. We're going to roughly measure the center of this table, front and back. Really, it does not matter, but it's important to me because this is a pretty small bench. Now I'm actually screwing down the miter saw with the 4 supplied screws. You could pre-drill these, or you really don't have to. I've already got them pre-drilled, so obviously I'm going to go that route. Go ahead and finish these up. Good and snug. And of course we have to show off the little festal there. Now these are the Capex mounts. If you have a saw other than the Capex, you will have 4 benchtop mounts. You can see these just hook right in to the Capex, so it makes it nice and easy. Tighten them up, not too tight. You just want to get them kind of loose so you can move them back and forth, because you will need to adjust these. Here's a close shot of it. You can see on the Capex it actually just clamps in there. Now if you do have a Capex, the pricing on the website is actually incorrect, and it's cheaper for once. So if you're a Festool guy, actually quite a bit cheaper, because those benchtop mounts are kind of expensive and these are a lot cheaper. Now here's one of the benchtop mounts here. We're just going to set it in place, and then we're going to get our track and snap it in. You notice the back of it snaps in first, and then you press down on the front. Since that's just kind of floating there, the bench top, we're going to actually manually put that where it needs to go. Set it down. Kind of get it as straight as we can and close to the edge. And we'll go over that in just a moment. Now we're going to pin the front block, which in your case could be a bench top, but this is a Capex. We're going to go ahead and set our straight edge. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just aligning that front block. I'm not doing anything with the other benchtop block. And I'm just going to tighten it down so we get it nice and snug so that does not move. And next we're going to align the second benchtop block. So you can either mark it with a pin, or the included screws make great markers. Just kind of put them in the holes and press down really hard. We're going to unpin it. We're just going to take the whole thing off, including that second block. There it is. And here I'm showing you, notice the edge, because you can mount these incorrectly and they will work fine, but when you go to adjust them, it'll be very difficult because you cannot get your hand under there to adjust the elevation up and down. The front to back is fine, and here we are just snapping it back in place. So make sure that that knob on the bottom that you'll see here shortly is facing the outside. Now here is the inside knob to run it back and forth, or front to back. And we're just adjusting that. We've got our straight edge lined up against the entire fence and the saw, and we're just getting that so it's flat. There's 2 screws that you need to loosen, and then you tighten those up, and then you turn the knob. Now we're going to work on the elevation here. And here are the 2 screws for that, and see the knob on the bottom? If this is on the inside, it's going to be very difficult to turn this knob up and down. Mine's already level, so I was just kind of showing you. And here I'm doing the same thing to the other side, just putting it all together, getting it lined up, getting a good straight edge. And here is the finished piece. Now I'll show you how easy it is to disassemble. Pull out your pin, pull up on it, same thing on the other side, and then you've got just your miter saw itself. Now you can make this completely mobile by, instead of screwing it down, use some knobs. We're going to go ahead and reinstall them, again from the back to the front. There they are. Now we're going to show you how to adjust the stop fin. there's a little plate that goes in a groove on the back of the fence. And here you want to set it up to 0. So put your mark on 0. I've already cut this, and then tighten the knob in the back and go ahead and make a cut. So now 0 is truly 0. Do the same thing on the other side. Mark it to 0 and then make the cut. Now we're going to make a cut, just a test cut. We're going to do a 1-inch piece. So you can see I'm butting it right up against that. So the great thing about this stop block is you can use it for right or left once you adjust it, once you cut it. We're going to go ahead and cut our piece here. You see we're right on the money. And there it is. It is a long, long miter station, at least for my space. I'm dealing with about a garage and a half. Now we're going to install a zero clearance miter insert. Now this was included for free. I don't know if they always do this or if they felt bad for not helping me out. But essentially it's a flexible plastic with adhesive backing. And you simply stick it on your saw. And you're going to go ahead and cut off the excess. Right here I'm just using a razor blade. There it is. And then go ahead and make your cuts. And so far it really seems to work. I've only used it on a few cuts, but I had 0 chip out. And overall the whole entire system is well worth the money. I wish it were a little cheaper, but considering what you get and the competition as far as a Capex, it's way cheaper than a Capex and a lot less time than building something. Please feel free to leave any questions or comments below. Subscribe. Thanks for watching.